up YouTube? It's your favorite NPHP, and I'm back with another video. As you can see by the title, I'm just going to go over some of the common pages that I received during the night from nurses. So basically I just jotted down some of the common pages that I received the last night I worked, and also I'll just run through the list that I have, and I'll maybe pick one or two and just let you know exactly like what I do for it and how I go about, you know, correcting the situation. Before I get started, for anyone that are new to this channel, welcome all to my new subscribers. Thank you so much for subscribing and being here. Just a little background of myself for anyone who's just stumbling across this video for the first time. I am a nocturnal hospitalist NP. I've been at this position for about a little over a year now, maybe a year and 3 months. And basically this channel is just to give you guys some information about becoming an NP. What was it like, you know, getting through school, my first position, follow along through my journey as a nocturnal hospitalist NP. So let's get started here. Low or high blood pressure, tachycardia, heart rates in the 120s, 150s. They're telling our reading PVCs, PACs, VTAC, high or low blood sugars, patients fell, low or high potassium, pain control, chest pain, low O2 saturations, new oxygen requirements, refusing medications, anxious patients in MRI, anxious patients in CT, acute onset of severe abdominal pain or severe headaches, new confusion, aggressive or agitated patients. Let's see, upset family members or family members wanting an update on the plan of care for the patient, or family members maybe have questions or concerns regarding certain medications that the patients are on, nausea, vomiting, positive blood cultures, patients haven't voided or urinated all day. I also do receive calls from consults, so maybe the day attending had consulted cardiology, GI, and they weren't able to round on the patients till late evening. I start my shift at 7 p.m. so if they round late, maybe 5, 6, and made some recommendations that need to be started during the night, they will page me on anything. So maybe GI wants the patient NPO at midnight because they are going to, you know, do an EGD tomorrow, or cardiology may want the patient started on this, a new type of antihypertensive, and they want to dose in tonight. So they'll page me just to make sure those orders are in, or they may change the order themselves and just give me an FYI page, just let me know what was done. So those are just like the common pages that I received, and this, like I said, I took these from my last night I worked. On a good night, the average pages that I may receive can be up to 20 and 25 pages, where on a busy night I may get up to at least like 50 pages. Again, I do work on a 38-bed medical surgical unit, as well as I cover a 12-bed observation unit. So since this observation unit has opened up, it has been a lot busier during the night shift with receiving pages from both units, and also doing admissions. So yeah, so those are the common pages that I usually get paged. Let's see, so I told you I was going to give you an example exactly maybe what I'll do or how I will correct some of these. So let's go with low blood pressure. So if a nurse pages me with a low blood pressure, so let's say the blood pressure is 86/53. So what I do now, I have to go. So just remember, I work on night shift. So all these patients that I'm covering on both units, I really don't know. I don't know them until I go and do my research looking through their charts. So I get paged for blood pressure 86/40, and so I go and look back at how they're running, because some patients have soft BPs. And when I say soft BPs, they just run on the lower end. So let's say this patient typically runs maybe 109/60s, and now they're calling and he's 86 over, what was the number I said? 86/53. So I see now the patient's blood pressure is lower than normal. And are they having any symptoms? Are they lightheaded? Do they feel faint? Do they feel their heart racing? So are they symptomatic? If they're not symptomatic, then I go ahead and look, do they have congestive heart failure or are they on dialysis? Because that will determine how I go about treating and correcting this low blood pressure. So I'll check if they have congestive heart failure, and I'll check their last echo to see their ejection fraction and see how well the heart is able to pump out, blood to the rest of their body. And as well, I have to see if they're on dialysis and look at their creatinine level. Those two conditions determine how much fluids I could give them to basically get their blood pressure up. So let's say this patient does not have any kidney issues, they're not on dialysis, nor do they have congestive heart failure, which is good. So now I could just push them with fluids. Usually I order like a 1 liter bolus, and I'll have the nurse repeat a manual blood pressure after and just let me know. At the same time, there's so much things you could look into it, like why is their blood pressure low? Are they going septic? And for the last couple nights when the patients that I got about hypotension, the patient were septic. So basically that's the basics of correcting a blood pressure. Every patient is so different, and how I treat this hypotension is going to be completely different from how I treat another patient with hypotension who have a history of CHF, congestive heart failure, and they have an EF of only like 30%. So there's a lot of critical thinking going behind it, and every patient is obviously different, and the treatment plan is individualized, which is what I love about this job. People may think working on nights is just you're babysitting, but working on nights I think it's harder because we don't know these patients, and I have to go and read up on the notes, read and see their labs and see all their current tests and imaging that they got, and put together my story and try to figure out why this patient is having low blood pressure. Like I said, this is what I love about this job, because I have to critically think. And when I started this position, it was extremely hard, and as a new grad, is extremely challenging, but it's also rewarding at the same time, because it's like the critical thinking part of it is like amazing. And so anyway, I'm just blabbing my mouth now, so let's pick another one. So let's see, so maybe let's say I get the call about a positive blood culture. I go and check the lab myself to make sure it is a positive blood culture, to make sure we're talking about the right patients. And I go in to make sure and see what antibiotics are they on. Sometimes if they're not on antibiotics, I make sure I put them on an antibiotic that's going to cover this gram-positive blood culture. Or if they're on antibiotic, I got to make sure the antibiotic that they are on is, will cover this gram-positive blood culture. So those are basically my common calls that I get, and on an average night. Hope you like this video. Please give this video a thumbs up. It really will helps me know that you guys like the content, so I could create more. And don't forget to subscribe, turn on the notifications so you'll never miss a video with your girl HP. Until next time.